lost control. Will you help me?
Wow, hello and welcome to Porsche Cup Challenge. My name is Michael McLeod. I'll be your broadcaster, commentator, controller of the cameras, the everything man, hopefully, tonight for this Porsche Cup Challenge Euro Global Division race here, round 8 at Jerez. Jerez? I don't have the Spanish tongue. I'm just too bloody Canadian, eh? I just can't do it. Someone please help me. Throw me a bone here. Anyhow, right now, these drivers are just going through the qualifying. Let me get rid of that. You don't want to see that, do you? let's get rid of that. We'll pull up some of our times. You can see how much time there is left in the qualifying. And this is Corey Lazarus. It looks like he's starting his very first lap, so we're just going to follow along with Corey. In the meantime, we are going to jump into his cockpit and take a look exactly what does this lap look like. It's a very fast track. You're going to use a lot of tires. Of course, this car does not have a lot of aerodynamic downforce, so this means that you're going to be scrubbing a lot of tires, using a lot more tires to get this car around the track. With 500 plus horsepower, it's a lot of horsepower to manage, especially with the weight of these cars. Yes, it's built like a race car, they've taken the interior out, all the things, but comparatively to an open wheeler, it's a lot of weight to move around that track. So it's a definitely quite an interesting challenge for these drivers to bring it around home, bring it around town, yeah, and get the fastest laps that they can. Luckily, in the Porsche Cup Challenge cars, cars, the draft really creates a vacuum and it brings everyone closer together. It's one of the special things that I personally love about this car. The draft effect, it's really, really great. And then the aero wash is not a huge factor. The aero wash is not a huge factor in these cars, which means you can actually follow closely. It's a really, really special experience to be able to follow each other closely and not have to worry too much about that aero wash going wide and doing all that. And what that does overall is it actually brings everyone closer together, allows you to race each other correctly, properly, all the things. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. The other challenging part, which I love, is there's absolutely no assist. And it looks like the broadcaster curse has just done its thing with that car that I'm following here. That is Lazarus. So Lazarus, just following along with him. Let's make this best time. So what is everyone's best time out there? And you know what, for even better comparison's sake, let's bring up the weather so you know exactly what these guys here are dealing with. 42 Celsius track temperature, Spencer Marsh. And okay, so who am I gonna send off the track next? That was Spencer. I did Corey. Let's see if I can get Wilfred off the track, you know. Is that... Oh no, not yet, not yet. Let's wait till Wilfred finishes this lap and then send him off. How about that? What do you think, guys? Oh, it looks like Wilfred has set his time. He's finished. Does that count? He's off the track, sort of. I don't think that this will work on Hammer, but let's give it a shot, eh? I'm just making sure right now at this current moment that everyone's Pro and Am is in the correct position. We have Django Vol is joining us again in the Porsche Cup Challenge Series. I know he quit the league and then he's come back, thankfully, and we're glad to have him back. I think I'm saying that one correctly. Django. You know, Django Cat, Django Vol. I like that. That's funny. I think everyone should be approximately finishing their laps right about now. There's going to be a few drivers still going. Let's take a look at who is that. Track temperature still up. And that means we're dealing with a real hot one today. Real hot one. Koopmans for president is what Danny Highthorne said. That's it, Koopmans. You got some fans out there. Hopefully, you're down in P10 right now. Hopefully you can pull it together, pull your pants back up, and, you know, get back out there, put down a time to get you near that front, because being in P10, that is not where you want to be if you're aiming for president. You got to be up there right near with the hammer at 141.0. That is fast. That is really fast. This season in Porsche Cup Challenge, we've got the open setup, so you can choose any setup that you'd like to use, put as much or as little fuel if you want to take the risk down to that every half liter of fuel that you want to take that risk with. You can absolutely do that. You don't have to work with the setup that everyone else has, although setup does not mean that much in this car. I've seen fixed setups. I know Hammer uses basically a fixed setup, maybe a slight adjustment to that he uses for the race. So it's not a lot gained by going into the open setup. It's just more minor preferences. Here we go. It looks like we've got, I think we've got 13 people here. 12 people, 13 people. This is going to be a real tight race. This is going to be intense, actually. I want to pull down that weather. Don't want to look at that no more. And there is everyone's best time. I want to pull up that starting grid. Here is your starting grid. Congratulations, Philip Hammer. Surprise to absolutely no one. Philip Hammer on pole once again. Did anyone see that coming? I didn't see that coming. Come on, did you? Yeah, we did. Daniel Thomas in P2, 3/10 off the pole lap time there. He's got that, 3/10, 1:41.4. Then we got Django Val in third position. Emil Koopmans ended up in fourth, so he got himself pulled together and he made it happen. Jordan Stregwick's going to be in fifth. Corey Lazarus in sixth. Ben G. Pedersen, the wild card. He's going to be the fighting Aussie dude there, down in seventh. We got Thorsten Seifert in eighth. Misha Berger in 9. Alexander Wilford in 10. Good lap from Wilford. Salvatore Garriente in 11. We got Spencer Marsh in 12th. What happened there, Spencer, buddy? Normally way further up. Then we've got Neil Killen in 13th and Francisco Branco in last place there, in 14th last, but certainly not least. Looks like the cars are ready to grid. Our light's going to be coming on. Maybe waiting for one more car. It looks like Daniel Thomas, he's slow coming back from the bathroom. He's done his P-brake, and it looks like we're about to go green. The lights are up in the middle of the screen. You got 5 lights that gotta go all red, all red. Here we go. 5 lights. 5 lights are off, and away we go. Looks like Philip Hammer got a slow start. Daniel Thomas, oh no, someone in the background, looks like Ben G. Pedersen almost went off track. So Philip Hammer able to recover after that real slow, bad start. Nice defensive line and a little bit of door banging. Someone lost control in the very back there. Unsure of exactly who that was, but able to make it through. Just a little bit of bumps and bruises, and they're still going. Salvatore Garriento, oh, not A, is way in the back, decided to start from the pits. Let's turn up some of those engine sounds. Let's hear these cars coming down that straight for the very first time, and here we go. Philip Hammer is in the lead of the race as they head into the hairpin. Got Corey Lazarus diving up the inside on Django Val, and Django Val backing out and allowing Corey to take that position to allow Django to actually defend better for the car behind him of Misha Berger. Let's pull up our timing tower. So now that we can see exactly who's gained, who's lost, the biggest winners, biggest losers of our evening so far. And I say evening, this could be the morning, this could be the afternoon here in Canada. Me being in Toronto, this is our afternoon. If you're in Australia, Aussie land, it's going to be real early morning, and I'm glad you can make it. Corey Lazarus, of course, is that guy from the down under world, where apparently the toilet spins the other way when you flush it. I have no idea. I think that the first thing I would do when I get off the airplane is go straight to the toilet and just take a look, take a watch. I'm really bloody curious, I gotta say. Philip Hammer's being challenged up here in the lead by Daniel Thomas. Daniel Thomas is just absolutely not letting him go. These guys have got a very nice behaved line and train of cars, just waiting for that one person in front of them to make that mistake. And one mistake can be you can absolutely lose all of it, lose everything in just one simple mistake. Philip Hammer has all that pressure. He is now currently Atlas with the world on his shoulders in the front of this field. And if you look on that timing tower, you can see how close absolutely everyone is together. Everyone is absolutely just unbelievably close. Spencer Marsh is the first one to break that gap from everyone. I'm not sure how that one happened. Spencer did not have a good qualifying. He's up 2 spots, luckily. into P10, but he is dropping back from this pack here. Luckily for anyone who makes any mistakes, you do have our second 30-minute feature that they can make it up and hopefully have a little bit of a better race. Alexander Wilford is way behind. Actually, on that, I want to take a quickie look. What exactly happened at that race start? Here we go. So this is, it says Wilford went off of the track. I am not sure how that one happened. Oh, just a little bit of a bump from Branko. Oh, and just a little bit of a miscue, and that is exactly how Wilford ended up so far back. Misha Berger making a pass, possibly around the outside on Django Val, around turn 1, and Django still got the inside. Shorter distance travel is going to be a huge advantage. Use a lot less tires. Misha Berger not able to complete that pass, but he is putting that pressure, taking away that draft. He's got the inside. This is the over-under, the under-over, and oh, is Misha Berger... I think I'd rather have the outside going into this turn, than... Just behind, you see Thorsten Seifert battling out with Ben G. Pedersen. Ben making the dive up the inside on Thorsten Seifert as they head down that straight. You know, you wonder, you can see just ahead, Misha Berger waited till after that straight. Ben just wanted it now. And is it going to pay off? Is this going to pay off? And Ben is now ahead of Thorsten Seifert. And that brings Spencer Marsh closer into that mix. So I'm really curious to see how that one plays out. There's Ben. He is now looking at the rear bumper. Misha Berger thinking of how can I get my next target. These cars on this track, it's really going to be about that correct conservation of that rear left tire. Here is the toughest part on this track. I'm going to get a little bit of a blimp view of this so you can see all the right turns. You really have to hammer down on your throttle, and it uses and abuses that rear left tire. If you're not careful, you're really going to cook it. And then to top it off, this massive braking zone that they're going through right now, you're going to lock up your front left tire because of that elevation change. If you're not careful, you'll go real wide on that apex of the very last corner and totally bring in that car behind you into play in ways that you just did not want. And there it goes. Looks like Jordan Strudwick has locked up. He has now allowed Corey Lazarus to make a pass, and Corey's now up into 4th position. Jordan's down into 5th. So Corey's gained 2 spots total, and Jordan is exactly where he started, where he qualified. I'm gonna head back into the TV views because I love being trackside. It feels as close as possible to trackside. You can get a little bit closer like that, and I absolutely love that view. As they head down that straight, Philip Hammer is still in the lead. To anybody's surprise, I'm not quite sure. Some are surprised and some are not. I gotta say, he's been a consistent performer. You always know where he's going to be, and he has absolutely been the benchmark of our league of where you want to reach towards week after week, season after season. Who is the guy that you want to take down? And it's always car number 60, Philip Hammer. I can see here he's recently changed cars. He used to be a part of the WS Esports racing team. Now he is on, looks like Impulse Racing. I'm not sure what caused the switches. Thorsten Seifert, a little further back, well, a lot further back now at this point. They used to be on the same team together. I'm not sure. Maybe these guys went through a separation, eh? Look at that. No, but of course they're still buddies. I'm pretty sure of that. I kid. But, so Thorsten Seifert's down 1 spot. Wow. And then behind is Spencer Marsh. So these guys now have 7 minutes 50 seconds left. Corey Lazarus looking up the inside of Emil Koopmans. This is getting absolutely intense for the final podium position in our sprint race. It is anybody's guess how it's going to end up as they head towards the longest straight on the track. And oh, Corey's thinking about making the dive up the inside super early. He does not go for it. Neil Koopman's going a little wide on the exit. Is Corey Lazarus going to be able to take advantage of the draft as he heads down the straight? Does he make that move for the inside? And there he goes. He pokes his nose. He dives under braking, and there goes Corey Lazarus up the inside of Emil Koopman's car 911, losing one more position. One position gained early on, one position lost. Corey Lazarus is up 3 spots, and that is a wonderful drive from Corey. I know Corey's put a lot of practice time on Jerez this week, so tire management and longevity of the tires over the length of a race, Corey is going to be the master in that. Oh, and where goes Ben? Ben is spun. Ben has crashed. Let's take a quick look. Where did Ben crash? A little bit too early on the... Oh, a little bit of a brave move up the inside there of Misha Berger, and it just did not pay off, unfortunately, for Ben. Actually, let's just take a quick look at how did that one happen. I want to take a look. So it looks like Ben believes that he's got some pace. Misha Berger goes real wide. Ben gets some overlap, and just unfortunate. That may be one for the stewards, maybe not. It depends on how those drivers feel about that. Of course, our league is review by submission only, and I really like that personally. MDB 2019 says NL. You know, to me, NL is Newfoundland, because I'm Canadian, eh? But anyways, there goes Ben G. Patterson around Neil Killen. Nice, easy pass. I think Neil made that one easy. He just wants to follow him through. But anyways, our league is submission only, and I really like that, because sometimes the drivers, they really don't like what happened and they want it reviewed. There's other times that they can look at that and think back, you know what, maybe I could have done something better. I don't think this guy really needs to be penalized or put through the review system. I'm fine with the end result of what happened. Let's just chalk it up to, hey, we're racing hard, and things happen. And it gives that opportunity for the drivers to make that decision on if they would like something reviewed or not. And I think it's really done a lot of great things for our league and the general standard of driving, because on top of that, nobody wants to be out there driving and have a submission put against them. So it almost makes you want to drive cleaner, because you know you just don't want anyone submitting on you. You just don't. If you do something bad enough that someone actually sends in on you, it's just not so good. Ben G. Pedersen, what happened here? Ben has crashed twice. This is his second crash, and there we go. This is the left tire. Oh, not sure what happened there. I think he needed to serve a drive-through for the incident limits there. So in our league, a little bit of a review of some of our league session rules is we have a 15x drive-through and 20x for a DQ, the disqualification. I am tongue-tying myself up the wazoo this afternoon, or whichever it is. And the reason for that is we want to give you the space to use and somewhat abuse the track limits, maybe a few bumps here and there, but not excessively. And we felt that 15x is a really, really good balance. It works with a small field, large field, all the different things. And shortly later in this race, I'll be going over some of the proposed changes that we're going to have for our league next season. Super, super excited. Oh, Django Val is down 3 spots total. I want to take a look at... So Spencer Marsh has passed Thorsten Seifert. Spencer's up 4 spots total. We have some time right now to take a look. How did Spencer Marsh make a pass on Thorsten? So it looks like he got an excellent exit out of turn 1. Thorsten not as great. Gets some nice fair overlap. They give each other lots of space, lots of respect. And there is Spencer Marsh is through. And it looks like that is exactly how that one went. Yep. And that, you know what? That brings Spencer Marsh all the way up into P8, and that's going to put him on the very front row of the grid in our 30-minute feature. So I'm super excited to see how that goes. Thorsten Seifert, though, if he has anything to say about it, he wants that spot back. He wants to be at the very front of the 30-minute feature race. He is not giving it up easy. He's now closed that gap, using that draft to his advantage, and this is going to be a battle to remember. I'm absolutely sure of it. He has another minute and 50 seconds to gain that spot back. The battle for the last spot on that reverse grid is always intense. And it's one of the things I love about the reverse grid. Some people, they don't understand until you actually experience it, how amazing that reverse grid is. You know, you can just set the field and say, okay, guys. Oh, and there goes Jordan Strudwick up the inside on Emil Koopmans, trying to gain some spots. Emil Koopmans is going to be able to battle him back into turn one. So Jordan is going to have the inside. Emil Koopmans is going to have the outside heading into turn one. Let's see how this goes. They dive down under braking. Shorter distance traveled for Jordan, but having an excellent exit for Emil. Is he going to be able to hold that outside round the next corner? Oh, it looks like Jordan just barely able to sneak on by. And a little bit further back here is the battle for that last position in the reverse grid. And you know, I was saying that until you've experienced it, you have no idea the excitement you're missing. You could just absolutely set the field and say, hey, fast guys, go qualify at the very front and then run away for two races, a sprint and a feature. But when you reverse that grid, those guys who are super fast, not only do they have to be fast, they also have to be smart. They have to be challenged then in their racecraft. You can be as fast as you bloody well want, but if you can't deal with traffic, other cars around you, you just crash them and bash them, you're not going to do very well in that reverse grid. And it is just the ultimate fun because of that. You always have cars around you, especially when you reverse that grid and you have a little bit slower guys or somewhat similar pace guys all around. It's just an absolute blast. Corey Lazarus. Oh, Corey Lazarus is past Daniel Thomas. We're going to have to take a look at exactly how that happened. Philip Hammer coming around the final corner right now, coming across that start-finish line. He is going to have won this race. Congratulations, Philip Hammer, for taking P1 in our sprint race. Corey Lazarus for coming through in the second position. 4 spots gained, and Daniel Thomas down 1 for that final podium position. And here is Neil Killen. Thorsten Seifert not able to make it happen. Here is Corey Lazarus. How did he get through? Let's take a quick look. How did that one happen? So this is Corey Lazarus getting through on, there's that front left tire getting locked up, as I mentioned earlier, and allowing for that pass. And that's how Corey Lazarus made it through on the very final lap. And yeah, it's just as I was saying, that front left tire, you can lock that up on that elevation change super easily. That's what happened right there. And you know what? One tiny mistake can make a huge difference. So that's going to give an extra point for Corey Lazarus in the season championship. Daniel Thomas only down 1 spot. So not a huge difference. And in the reverse grid, it's going to help Daniel Thomas slightly, but he's got some very fast guys behind him now. Again, because of that reverse grid. Absolutely love it. Is anyone out there? Yeah, we've got Emil Koopmans is out on the track. Let's see. Nope, he's not out yet. There we go. We're just practicing some starts. So in the meantime, actually, let's talk about our 3 key points for this next race. Number 1 is always get a good start. Do not spin those rear tires. It doesn't matter if you have an excellent start or a good start. Anything from good and above is what you need. If you're having a bad start or even an okay start, no. You just gotta get those tires really spinning, but not spinning, sorry. Get those tires not spinning, get the car off that line as fast as you can while not too slow. And yeah, it's a challenge, but that's part of the fun of the standing start. Second is just take care of that rear left tire. It's going to be a challenge in 30 minutes, and in this heat, let's just take a quick look. What is the temperature that we're dealing with here? Track temperature gone down just a little bit, so it's 38 Celsius. It's not going to blow the tires off the wheels this time around, but you know, it's still challenging. The third one would be just to take it easy, not rush the passes too much, because honestly, staying in draft is, I believe, going to be a huge payout for these drivers. If you try and rush those passes, it's you know, high risk, high reward, and sometimes that high reward doesn't come. It's a high failure, you know. So you got to make those calculated risks. And sort of go for the passes that really make sense. Sometimes that gap is there, so you do go for it. Sometimes you fake send it, and that actually pays off even more than the full send. Is just make it look like it. You really get into that driver's head, and I think that's way more beneficial than just straight up naked aggression. Here we go. We have, I think, 30 seconds left for these drivers to come onto the grid, and see. And I pull up that grid. There you go. Just before the lights go green, you can see Spencer Marsh is going to be on pole, Misha Berger in second, Django Vol, Emil Koopmans, Jordan Strudwick. Let's pull that away so we can see the start of this race. Looks like the lights are up and away we go. Spencer Marsh got an excellent start. Misha Berger covering off the inside, and now he's gone back to the outside. It's Django Vol going to make the dive up the inside. He's not able to make it happen. We have 3 cars going wide, and there is Thorsten Seifert, and unfortunately, oh, Corey Lazarus, where's he gone? We're going to have to take a look at what happened. How did that take place? And we're going to pull up this timing tower. You know, with a 30-minute race, it doesn't look like those cars are damaged, so they're going to be able to have that opportunity to battle back. Spencer Marsh is still in the lead of this race. Thorsten Seifert, Corey Lazarus way back, but we're going to see them coming back through that field. I guarantee you, I kid you not, these guys do not give up. They go right to the very last moment. Spencer Marsh, Misha Berger, Emil Koopmans, Django Vol, Jordan Strudwick, Daniel Thomas. So Daniel Thomas able to make it through all of that chaos. Nothing too crazy. Philip Hammer, you know, what are you going to say? Philip Hammer somehow finds a way to never get caught up in those incidents. Ben G. Pedersen is really going to be pushing his rear bumper, trying to get through, maybe, making that move up the inside on the Hammer. Early, he wants to be ahead. Starting right now, is Philip Hammer going to battle him back? Ben is, no, he got the exit he was looking for out of that corner. So let's take a quick look. What happened? Here's Thorsten Seifert off that race start, and I think he might have just missed a braking point. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Nope. And that looks like it was Misha Berger or someone. We're going to have to take a quick look again later. But for now, it looks like Ben went off the track. How? So Ben, who is putting up some serious pace, just after he passed Philip Hammer, there he goes. He hits a little bit of the kitty later and off the... Oh! And there into the pits he goes. I don't know if he wanted to do that, but he did. All that he had gained, all lost in one tiny little mistake. And I think that brings me back to that point 3 that I was making, is the calculated risk. If you take high risk, high reward, there's also a high failure point. And Ben G. Pedersen, all of a sudden, that high failure point has been triggered, and he's right near the back. I have no idea where he is now. He had a great opportunity. He unfortunately just couldn't make the best of it. So that brings Philip Hammer back into 7th position. I'm going to just roll through some of these drivers. Let's see where everyone's at. Corey Lazarus, after that, we're going to have to take a look. How did that one happen? Very shortly. Corey Lazarus on the back bumper of Neil Killen. And oh, Neil Killen feeling that pressure, feeling the heat from car 85 is dive up the inside. That is a difficult braking zone to get that inside. And Corey Lazarus just able to make it happen. Neil Killen lighten up those rear tires and not able to get the power down to fight off Corey Lazarus. Now, we have a little bit of time to take a look. How did Corey Lazarus go off the track? Here is Corey Lazarus. Oh, and he got a little bit of a bump from Jordan Strudwick. That is unsure what was happening right there, but that's not very nice of Jordan. If that was, I believe that was car 100 Jordan Strudwick, but that is not a very nice shove to unfortunate. Oh, and Misha Berger up the inside of Emil Koopmans. Emil Koopmans around the outside. I think Misha Berger's on the inside, fending him off, trying to hold in second place. So Emil Koopmans using that draft to his advantage to try and get round. I gotta say, that is one tough corner to go round the outside. It's such a long distance to travel. It is not the place to go. Corey Lazarus making a move on Alexander Wilford. So Wilford has now been passed by Corey Lazarus. And with so much to break down in that very beginning, that very opening lap, we're going to have one more event to look through, but not quite yet, because I think Emil Koopmans is just right now planning his pass on Misha Berger into turn one. Is he going to make it happen? Dive for the inside? Is he going to wait it out? Oh, he's going to wait it out. He's going to wait it out. He's going to plan that pass, and he's going to take that perfectly calculated risk. Nothing too risky, just right. I can see it in his eyes right now. He is waiting for that perfect chance to strike. And you actually have quite a line of cars. Here's Django Val is also in 2 positions down. In 5th position, Daniel Thomas with Philip Hammer directly behind, Salvatore Gariento. Corey Lazarus catching up very, very quickly to the field. His strong pace is just showing right here, right now. With 30 minutes in this race, Corey Lazarus, I'm sure he's going to be right back on that podium. His tire conservation and tire management is excellent. Absolutely excellent. So you're going to see Corey way up that front pack again very shortly. Alexander Wilford here in 10th, battling Neil Killen. These two know each other very, very well. They were fighting it out for the Amateur Division Championship last season, and look at that, they're here right beside each other once again. Amateur drivers, I know Alexander Wilford has a lot of iRating, but something about the Porsche Cup car does not click with him in the way that it does for the Skippy and other open wheel cars. So, yeah, I don't know, something about it. Wilford just finds, I guess, a little bit of a struggle. It is a challenging car, especially for those coming from the open wheelers like a Skippy. That Skippy, the rear end, it really swings, and it's a lot of fun. And it's just very, very different to this high horsepower car. And Wilford is taking a long way around that corner. Absolutely not beneficial to take that long distance there. You want to cut it as short as you can, of course, as we know. But yeah. Okay, so while we can, let's take a look here. What exactly happened at the race start? Here was Wilford. Oh, and Ben made oh, there's Neil, Ben. So that was Neil, Alex, and Thorsten. Make of that as you will. Let's just take a look at how did that one happen. So Ben makes that move up the inside, taking advantage of that slower cars. And as I said, make of that as you will. That one, because it is a first lap, will be reviewed by the stewards. So I'm really curious to see how that one plays out. Misha Berger fending off Emil Koopmans. Oh, able to take that full track back, being ahead, but maybe not what he had hoped on exit, because Emil Koopmans is now right there. ready to take advantage of the tires that are not doing so well on car number 5 of Misha Berger. Emil Koopman's tires, it seems just by the way he's moving around the track, exiting the corners, is in a much better temperature window. So it's any moment now that Emil Koopmans is going to be able to make that pass. But don't look too soon, because Jordan Strudwick, car number 100, wants to take his own swings for action there on that podium there. He is now in the 3rd position, 2 spots gained in this race, and he'll have a chance to take a swing at Misha Berger any moment now. Wow. And it looks like here's Daniel Thomas and Philip Hammer just hanging out in the background, waiting for something to happen. Of course, they've got 20 minutes in the race to go. So it's quite a long race, and anything can happen in that time. Gonna head back to Spencer Marsh, who's in the lead of this race. He's now broken away just a little bit from that fighting that's happening behind him. He's got that 1.3 second gap, taking 1 next there, going a little bit wider than he was hoping, I'm sure. Misha Berger defending the inside to Jordan Strudwick as they head down into the braking zone of this hairpin. Cars diving down under braking. Jordan Strudwick having a great time going around the outside on Misha Berger, and he is gonna make that pass potentially. Little bit of a bump. Oh, Rubbins racing. Is Emil Koopman going to make 3 wide? No, he decides to back out, and Jordan Strudwick has now broken his way through on Misha Berger. There's that defense, making the car as wide as possible. Misha Berger does not want to continue to lose positions. Emil Koopman is trying to find his way through and not able to make it happen. Jago Vol is now in the mix with Daniel Thomas, Philip Hammer. This has become absolute intense racing. This is what the reverse grid is all about, folks, right here, right now. Misha Berger wants that spot back. Are his tires, which are absolutely screaming at him, going to allow him to do it? It's anybody's guess. He's getting an excellent exit out of that final corner, heading towards turn 1. It's Jordan making that car wide as possible, leaving that inside open, showing a lot of trust with Misha Berger there. And Misha's not taking advantage of that inside quite yet. It looks like he's going to be waiting for that long straight, if that's my best guess anyways. So Jordan's got that clean, clear air in 2nd position. It's his chance to try and catch back up to Spencer Marsh. Will he be able to do it? I don't know. We're going to have to tune in and find out. We are watching live, folks. I have no idea what happens. I can't tell the future. Someone buy me a crystal ball, please. And out of that corner onto the long straight, it looks like Jordan Strudwick's left rear tire able to put the power down just a little bit better than Misha Berger. Misha Berger losing some of that interval, some of that gap to Jordan Strudwick. So now that's going to put Emil Koopmans even further into play in this battle for the final podium position. Thorsten Seifert making a dive up the inside on Neil Killen into that hairpin, so that's put Thorsten Seifert ahead. A little bit ahead of Thorsten is Alex, so Alex Wilford is going to try and fend off Thorsten Seifert right here. You can see Neil Killen after that initial turn 1, lap 1 bump. Salvatore Gariento staying out of any problems, issues, and all of that. He's here in 9th position. He's up 3 spots total. Here's Corey Lazarus, just as I was saying earlier. He had that funky business happening. He is already, with that strong pace that Corey's always shown, back into contention, into the battle basically for P2. Look at this. You have Corey there, and that here is P2. We're following with the camera right here. And there is Corey Lazarus. So he's totally brought him back into himself up into contention for that podium position finish. Super exciting stuff, guys. Absolutely exciting. So Jordan Strudwick just a little bit of a gap to Misha Berger now. He's stretching his legs and breaking away, and it looks like Emil Koopmans is following along. Is Philip Hammer gonna go up the inside of Daniel Thomas? Does he do it? Does he do it? He does. Philip Hammer up the inside of Daniel Thomas. He is done with waiting. He wants to take 1 spot slowly at a time. The tire management of the German car of number 60, Philip Hammer, is just now at play. So really curious to see how he starts making his moves. He doesn't have a lot of time left to make up some of these spots, I gotta say. And at some point, you just gotta go for it. You gotta send it, because you can't wait forever for someone in front of you to make a mistake. All these drivers here, they're very competent drivers, and you just absolutely cannot count on them making a mistake to make a pass. You have to either force them to make a mistake or make a pass. Here's Django Val defending the inside on Philip Hammer, and that's going to leave him open for attack on the exit heading into turn 1 for Philip Hammer, getting the excellent exit that he always gets out of that final corner. And Django at risk of losing his position? Not quite. Philip Hammer's backing out. He's going to take a little bit of a break, save those tires, and wait for a much better opportunity. And not quite yet still. I'm going to have to bet it's going to come right into that hairpin. Come on, $5. Anyone want to make a bet with me? You can see the smoothness of car number 60 going around these corners, and in comparison to Django Val, you can really see it in the car itself. The amount of extra movement that Django is putting into that car through those tires, all that extra effort, it's not going to pay off. So here goes Philip Hammer. Does he make the move down the inside? Not quite yet, but he is closer than ever. He is, oh, look at that. Under braking, Django goes wide, and Philip Hammer is just, he is applying that pressure. And, you know, I'd say it's going to be any corner now. The tire management after 15 minutes, not just, I wouldn't say it's tire management, because these races are absolutely an all-out, balls to the wall, as they always say, kind of race. You really don't want to let up and do a slow lap in tire management. You have to learn how to drive at your highest level in a way that allows your tires to not die. That's what it's all about. And Django Val locking up a tire, under braking in that final corner, and that, yeah, I think he's at risk for losing that position right about now. If Philip Hammer is gonna make that move, there he goes, pulls out of the draft. Does he make that dive? No, Philip Hammer, not, you know, I gotta say, that's one of the slight, how would you say it? Slight drawbacks of Philip Hammer's driving style is there's a lot of times that he could be making that aggressive or slightly aggressive move, and he chooses to be a little too conservative and back out. And, you know, I'd say 70-80% of the time that's a good move, but there's about 30% of the time, like that turn 1 moment right there, you could have seen a nice easy pass for Philip, decides to back out, and now he's not up one of those positions that he should be up, and it's keeping Django Val in play ahead of him. Looking a little further up, it looks like Jordan Strudwick has caught up to, you know, these guys have the same paint scheme. I'm gonna have to say that they're teammates, wouldn't you? I think that's a good enough guess, wouldn't you say? And so Jordan Strudwick has caught up to Spencer Marsh. Misha Berger is still in play as well. Here's Emil Koopmans. Django Val is 1 second behind, and then it's back to what I was talking about. Is Philip Hammer has to make that pass. He has to throw away that little bit of a conservativeness that he's always got and just go for it, send it. He's got the capability in car control, and he just has to get over that hump and make that pass. Emil Koopmans, it looks like, was locking up under braking, or it could have been Misha Berger. Yeah, it was, I think that was Emil Koopmans saying his apologies to Misha Berger. It looks like there's a lockup under braking. Look at that, there's Corey. He's caught back up into the field. And if you look here, Salvatore Garriento, he is not too far back if you actually think about it. No incidents or crazy business. And here is Alexander Wilford has had Thorsten catch up. So Philip Hammer is now through. And, you know, I feel bad. Let's take a look. How did that pass happen? So let's see, how did that pass take place? Here we go. Here it is into turn 2. Django goes wide. Does Philip Hammer finally decide to make it happen? There he goes. Oh! And there you go. That is the pass. And, you know, your tires in this car are just, they're not Superman. You can't just abuse them all race long and expect it to stick. I've heard people say all the time, let's take a little few steps backwards for a moment. We'd love to think that this is real life, and I gotta say it's as close as we can in simulation to the best thing we can in real life. Unfortunately, though, it is still iRacing and a computer simulation. Although, I gotta say, these tires, the way that the tire model works, personally, I believe is the best in the business. There's nowhere that you can find in any car racing simulation that is at this level that iRacing has. It's absolutely wonderful. And, you can't just use and abuse a tire and expect it to hold out. And and that's what we've seen with some of these drivers. So Django Val has now been passed by Daniel Thomas through that final corner. Corey Lazarus making a move, taking the dash through the open doorway. Corey Lazarus now is directly behind Corey Lazarus directly behind Daniel Thomas. And so this reverse grid is just having its fun, putting these guys in spots they're not normally in. Fast guys behind some slower guys, and sometimes slow guys ahead of some other fast guys ahead of some fast guys. It becomes a real good mixing pot of great racing. So Spencer Marsh, no team orders from these two folks. Spencer is still ahead, Jordan is still trailing, and he's trying to find a way through. Of course, we applaud those passes that are no contact, no incident. Those are what we're looking for. Those are the beauties that we all love to see. And sometimes when you get passed by a beautiful no incident, no contact pass, you're like, man, that's the racing that you love to be a part of. Even if you're on the receiving end of being passed, it's a little bit of a bittersweet thing, isn't it? Now Thorsten Seifert, how did he got, who is this? This is Alexander Wilford. I thought Thorsten passed, no, Thorsten had passed. Thorsten had passed Neil Killen. Oh, you know what? I can't look away from this front pack here. This is absolutely wild. It looked like Jordan Strudwick locked a tire into that final corner, bringing Misha Berger absolutely back into play for P2. Oh, this is wild. We have 9 more minutes of these cars racing this close together. And you know what? Whereas this is Hammer, Daniel Thomas. This is going to be all about Daniel Thomas bringing Corey Lazarus and Django Val back into play into this battle for P1. Look at that. This is P1 right here. And we have, I would say, 8 cars in contention for the win of this race. Spencer Marsh going wide, a little bit wild. Jordan Strudwick up the inside, taking the lead of this race for the very first time. Spencer Marsh now being challenged by Misha Berger and just absolutely everyone behind him. This train of cars, the pressure that Spencer Marsh was feeling, he just cracked. Just like that trophy that Max Verstappen won, just crash, bang, boom. And Spencer Marsh is now not in the lead of this race. We got Philip Hammer closing in on car 911. Emil Koopmans has got some serious pressure behind him. So is Philip Hammer going to step it up and make a pass, or he's going to wait for maybe a little too long, maybe too short? Let's find out. Emil Koopmans, his car, as you can see, has been moving quite smoothly, so I don't think tires are going to be too much of an issue for the likes of Emil Koopman. So Philip Hammer's really going to have to work him if he wants to get ahead. If you look just a tiny bit back, you got Daniel Thomas has actually closed that gap. So Corey Lazarus has been brought into that vacuum, into this lead pack. Django Val, as we were watching earlier, his car making a lot of movement going around that track from left to right to all around, really. And his tires feeling that heat. They're getting a little bit too heat cycled, and he's dropping back, not able to hold on to that pace that this general lead pack of cars has. Jordan Strudwick just stretching his legs. He's made a few passes. That latest one on Spencer Marsh, he is now ahead Oh, and Thorsten Cypher. I want to take a quick look. Thorsten Cypher making a pass on Alexander Wilford. It looks like Alexander Wilford giving that one up easy and then going back in tow. Is he going to make a pass back on Thorsten Cypher? Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Thorsten Cypher getting attacked up the inside from Alexander Wilford. Alexander Wilford backing out and deciding to just follow along. And I'm not sure why or how, but there they go. I know Thorsten does have pace on Alex, and Thorsten had that really unfortunate incident on lap 1. So I'm not sure who caused that. That might have been Alex that been the initial bumper on that. So I'm not sure if there's a little bit of a I feel bad, I'll let you go type thing going on, but again, I can't really review those things on the live broadcast because, you know, I can't actually look at it in depth to see what happened. So don't take that as truth. It's just a quick overview on the spot, honestly. Back up to the very front pack, Jordan Strudwick breaking away. He's just got the Usain Bolt's legs going. He's flying 1.4 seconds, so that means Spencer Marsh is now the bottleneck in this field of cars. Philip Hammer is looking even closer to the rear bumper of Emil Koopmans. Is he going to make that pass up the inside? Is he going to have patience? Is he not going to have patience? Oh, he goes up the inside on Emil Koopmans, down into the braking zone, nose dives under braking. Is he got that overlap? He's got the overlap on Emil Koopmans, and away he goes. It's going to be too wide through the next section of corners, and this is going to be real challenging. He backs out, and he lets Emil Koopman have it so he can wait for later. So Corey Lazarus, where did Corey Lazarus go? Django Vol passed Corey Lazarus. How in the world did that one happen? Here is the pass. Corey Lazarus, it looks like his rear left tire a little bit hotter than he was hoping. He's trying to drift it out of the corner and maybe not so well. Not going so well for Corey. So all of that pace he's been pushing into that car, into those tires, and just a little bit too much. I'm not sure how that damage happened. He appears to have some damage on his front left. Maybe a slight bump from something, from someone. I can't see anywhere on my notification. So Corey's going to have to go into the pits to take that fast repair. And that's going to bring Salvatore Goriento and Thorsten Cypher ahead of Corey Lazarus. You can see he's being forced to take that fast repair. That car is not drivable, not in the slightest. And there goes Alexander Wilford, Neil Killen, and being consistent, as I was saying in my 3 key points, being consistent with calculated risk is going to bring you up a whole bunch of spots. It looks like Corey Lazarus is retiring his car. I have no idea how that damage happened. I can't even see a notification for it. I just absolutely cannot see it. And there goes Philip Hammer up the inside of Emil Koopmans. Daniel Thomas is now real close behind. I want to take a look. How did Philip Hammer make that pass? Because we just missed the how did it happen? There goes Philip Hammer up the inside. Maybe not. He fakes it out. Emil Koopmans gets spooked, and away goes Philip. Back to the live action. Here's Philip Hammer. He's now got Misha Berger in front of him. Car number 5 is his next target. Misha Berger has Spencer Marsh directly ahead of him. Has Spencer been pushing the envelope, pushing those tires to the very maximum? Much better exit out of that final corner compared to Misha Berger. You can see it right there in the gap that was just instantly created. Misha Berger wants the inside. Philip Hammer's going to have to go around the outside. Philip's tires are going to be in a much better temperature window. Misha Berger is not going to have the advantage into that next corner. Philip Hammer up the inside, the over-under, force the guy to go wide, use the tires to your advantage that you've got, and is Philip Hammer. And now Emil Koopmans up the inside of Philip Hammer. So Misha Berger's defense with his brick wall is bringing all these other cars. Daniel Thomas up the inside of Emil Koopmans. Absolutely wild. These guys are duking it out. Front to back. Oh my gosh. And here we go. This is going to be is this going to be a 2x2 into the hairpin? So Emil Koopmans, who is up a few positions now, is down a few spots with 1 minute 40 seconds to go. He is going to want some of those spots back. That means there's a 1.5 laps to go. We're going to have 18 laps total in this race. Oh man, all this action is getting my throat sore. I'm going to have to go take like a bath in salt water after all this action. Oh my gosh. Spencer Marsh has luckily Philip Hammer behind Misha Berger, so that's going to leave Spencer at a really good spot. He's very, very unlikely to have Misha Berger attacking for second position. Philip Hammer is going to want to get on through. Misha Berger's throwing up that brick wall as we saw earlier, and that is really mixing up the field. And as Philip Hammer is going to go for it one more time, Misha Berger is going to defend that inside. So Philip Hammer has to go round the outside into turn one. Here goes Philip once again, round the outside. Does he stick the outside? And oh, there he goes. He's going to stick the outside and not bother with the over-under and the sends and all the mind games. Philip Hammer wants the inside going around this corner, and off Philip goes. And oh, you know what? Not so soon. Philip is still being challenged by Misha Berger. This is absolutely insane. And this is going to be a 2x2 as they head onto that long back straight. Who can get the power down the soonest? Misha Berger able to get the power down. Is Philip Hammer able to get that power down as well? And there, 2x2. Is this going to be a 3 wide with Daniel Thomas? No, it is 2x2 still once again. Misha Berger on the inside, Philip Hammer on the outside, then Daniel Thomas, Emil Koopmans following as that last car, that last trailing car, trying to find a way through on the very last lap. Philip Hammer is now finally through, and Daniel Thomas, oh, with much better tires, I'm gonna have to take a guess on making that dive up the inside, but also not quite able to get there. Philip Hammer has made his way onto the podium, the final podium position. Misha Berger is now in 4th spot. Daniel Thomas in 5th. Is Emil Koopmans going to make that dive up the inside in the final braking zone? It's anybody's guess. And here we go. Daniel Thomas defending the inside. Emil Koopmans going round the outside. It's going to be a drag race to the finish line. Daniel Thomas, is he able to hold on to it? And Emil Koopmans is gonna, and Emil Koopmans makes a pass at the very final millisecond on Daniel Thomas for 5th position. Wow, what a wonderful race from those guys. I can't believe Emil Koopmans actually made that one stick round the outside on the final corner. Wow. So we have just a few more drivers to make their rounds across that start finish line. It looks like Thorsten made that pass on Alexander Wilford. Neil Killen just going around those final few corners here. And there is the last corner right there for Neil Killen. And then I'll be able to pull up those finishing results. And wow, what a race. What a race from all of these guys. I gotta say, congratulations to all of these drivers. That looked like an absolute blast. I had fun calling that one out, I gotta say. Congratulations, Jordan Stredwick, for the win of this race. Able to stretch those legs and build a 5-second gap, I'm seeing, to... Yeah, let's make this gap. So now you can see exactly the gap from the lead, which is 5 seconds to Spencer Marsh. So that's quite a sizable gap. And actually here, MTL, I can bring this up, and there you go. There you go. There's the gap. You got Jordan Strudwick. Congratulations once again, Jordan Strudwick. Spencer Marsh starting up at the front, not able to hold it together for the entire length of the race. But you know what? Holding on to a P2 with all of that pressure, you know what? So that trophy that broke off the stage, he put that back together, glued it with everything that he had so that he can hold on to second position. Philip Hammer all the way up into third. I'm convinced Philip could have been closer to that front, but great racing from everyone. That, oh, just absolute wonderful, amazing racing. Misha Berger ended up in P4. Emil Koopman's making that pass on Daniel Thomas. That is 3 thousandths of a difference across that finish line. Wow. So Daniel Thomas did not make it stick around the inside. And yeah, that's hilarious. And we've got Django Val, 14 seconds back, then Salvatore Garriento, then Thorsten Cipher, who's a part of that unfortunate beginning incident. Alexander Wilford, Neil Killen, Corey Lazarus. I have no idea. I'd love to find out what happened to Corey's car. It looked badly damaged and just an unfortunate experience. I know he had that bad little smack on the very first lap. That was real unfortunate. And then we got Ben Pedersen. Have no idea how he ended up in the pits. He went off into the sand, into the bunkies, and I guess he just didn't come back. He couldn't find that golf ball out in the sand trap. He got lost looking. He maybe went for a swim. I don't know. Beach vacation for Ben. And then Francesco Branco, it looks like did not even start. Maybe he didn't start. I have no idea. On that very last race. If anyone would like to do an interview, just jump on into the interview booth right now. I'm there on the Discord. And for now, I'm just going to play that first lap and exactly how that went. But yeah, and I'll come back for an interview if anyone jumps into the booth. If nobody jumps into the booth, it will be the end of our Euro Global broadcast round 8. Jerez. I gotta grow my Spanish tongue apparently. And but yeah, congratulations to all of our drivers. And I really enjoyed that. I hope that all of you enjoyed that. I hope you all enjoy this broadcast back. And there we go. Have a good evening, folks. Hope you have a great weekend and a great week coming at you this next 5, 6, 7 days until our next race. I'll see you guys all later.